Welcome to All Gems, No Crumbs, where the vibes are high and the tips hit every time. I'm your host, Ikenisha J, entrepreneur, millennial mama, wife, and your go to for real talk on building your brand, protecting your peace, and living your softest life yet. Each week, I'm dropping gems to help you level up in business, mindset, self care, and everything in between without the fluff, pressure, or burnout. No crumbs, just gems. Let's get into it. Hey, 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 jewelers. Guess who it is? It's the stranger. Ikenisha J. I am back. Um, yeah, it's been a while. I feel like I should be saying, hey, big head. Yeah, it's January 8th. It is a whole new year. I have not talked to y'all in months. I promise you, I have a great excuse. I got super, super busy. Like the last half of 2025, your girl was literally booked and busy. And you all know, if you know, you know me. I never wanted to be booked and busy. Like when I really thought about my goals and such, I just more so want to be, just free. That's my thing. I want to be free. And yeah, the last parts of the year, it was crazy. Like, I've done so much. If you're on my email list or you follow me on Instagram, yes, I'm back on Instagram. Oh my God. You'll see my carousel where I wrapped up everything that I did in 2025, what I accomplished. And so, yeah, you'll know it was a lot. So, this is actually an emergency episode. I am not in the podcast studio. I am sitting at my dining room table. If I sound weird, my household and I were all down with the flu for 3 weeks. So I'm still a little bit congested and I do have a slight cough. So if there are pauses, it's because I'm muting the microphone and I'm coughing, or I may just pause it and then cough, like whatever. Y'all understand. So anyway, yeah, this is actually an emergency episode. This is not an episode I had planned. I was actually going to do an episode all about me finally having the time to sit down and watch Kim Kardashian's masterclass. I have never been a fan of hers. Like, I didn't hate her or anything. I just never followed her, never watched an episode of the show. Like, I've just never understood the hype. Especially like I just don't I viewed her as someone, and her siblings. To me, they were not like like kind of like how Trump got like his money from his dad to start his business. That's how I view them, because it's like, okay, y'all came from money, or at least you had money and connections, and so the nepotism really turned me off as a business person, because like you can't brag about things that you've done and your accomplishments when you have not traveled the same type of path that most entrepreneurs that you're trying to relate to have traveled. You know what I'm saying? But I did watch it and I was totally blown away. So that's gonna be my next episode if I decide to do it, because the more that I keep thinking about it, the more I kind of don't want to do the episode. We'll see. So yeah, back to what I was saying. This particular episode is an emergency episode. I'm going to tell you why. If you're on my email list, you have already seen this. So this is going to be kind of like a recap of the email, the intro part here. And then I'm going to go into some more things. So if you're not on my email list or you have not checked your email, I actually talked about how, like, my mic is super loud. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't get too low. All right. So in my email, I let y'all know that I actually snoop on y'all. Yes, those of you who are on my email list, I snoop on y'all. What do I mean? Okay, so when you check your email analytics, obviously you're looking at the clicks and the conversions and who opened the email, who unsubscribed, all that sort of stuff. Yes. However, comma, I am someone who will not only look at those things, I will look at the email address. And if the email address has any sort of semblance of a business name, or if the domain is a business name, so it's like it could be like IkenishaJ at IkenishaJ.com, I will go to your website And I will quietly, secretly audit your website. I will find your social media and I will audit that too. Because I'm truly curious on not only what it is that you do, but I'm also curious on who follows me, who subscribes to me, who opens my emails, who trusts me, and what is it that they need from me. And it helps me figure out exactly what I need to offer my audience, what assistance I need to offer them, what podcast episodes to do, what type of email content to send, everything. So it's research as well. But today, this morning, when I went through my email analytics and I did my usual snooping and quiet auditing and slightly judging. So I'm gonna say this too. I'm gonna give y'all a caveat before continuing. If you are someone who cannot deal with being called out, if you are someone who cannot deal with constructive criticism, someone who cannot deal with someone who does not sugarcoat anything, this is not the episode for you. So if you feel like you're an email subscriber and I'm talking about you, please know this is all in love. Because in order for you to win, you have to know what you're doing wrong or what can be improved. And those who are in my world do not, they welcome criticism. I will say that. They want to improve. They want to get better. They want to win. Okay. So I just want to make that clear because this is not going to be some nice, soft stuff I'm going to say. It's going to be real. All right. Oh, ouch. Just hit my hand on the table. All right. So when I went to I want to say a good 10 websites slash social media pages. So like I went to Facebook pages, I went to Instagram pages, I went to different websites, and I did not see one out of those 10 that were good. I did not see not one that I would have been interested in supporting because there are times when I will go through my email list, find a business, see if it's like if I am a potential customer and I will support because I'm like, hey, you're supporting me just by opening up my email. So I want to pour back into you. I did not see not one out of those 10 that I went to that I would have bought something from. The very first website I went to, I was super confused. The website looked great. Okay, first off, hats off. I know it was a design agency who did it because at the very bottom, of course, they put, designed by blah, blah. So again, great looking website, branding on point when it comes to, iconography, typography, all that stuff. Great. However, I could not tell what it was that this person did. They offer a service, but I could not really tell what the service was. And I'm not going to go into detail of what I read because then that person will know that I'm talking about them. And I don't want anyone to feel bad. So I'm just going to give advice and tips and you can just figure out if this applies to you. So I read okay, so when you go on websites and it has this like different banners and different sections with, like a horror what do you call it? They're called banners and they have like different headlines on them. And then you have little text sections under that. And then you may have a testimonial. Or you may have another banner with another headline. That's what she had a lot of. It was a lot of headlines, a lot of text, testimonials, which were great, of course. However, from like it truly did not understand. I just didn't understand what she offered, and it wasn't clear. And at the very beginning, at the top of your website, you should always have your business name and your slogan slash motto or whatever, or some kind of one liner. And that one liner needs to be extremely clear about what it is that you do or who you are or what you sell, something. She did not have that. And I feel like she thinks that she did. And I feel like she thinks that it's clear what she does. And it's not because the testimonials do not really match what I thought that she offered. It's weird. So my tip number one for you guys is make sure it is abundantly, insanely clear who you are targeting, who your audience is, because I could not tell because at one point she was talking about college grads and another point she was talking about something. I could not figure it out. So, who you're targeting who your product is for, your one liner, your business name, all that at the very top. It should be in the hero part. It should be above the fold. Above the fold in a website means when a person lands on your website and they don't scroll. That is above the fold. Okay. So that needs to be clear. And it also needs to be clear exactly what it is that you offer and how it fits into your customer's life. So yeah, I couldn't tell. Now, we are going to hold on, sorry, my phone just vibrated. I'm trying to see what it was. All right. Now, the next website I went to, the next website I went to, I want to make sure I'm going in the right order. I don't have, I'm doing this strictly off the top of my head. I didn't write anything down, no notes, no nothing. Okay. So anyway, the next website I went to, it was a digital product site. And, um, So, okay, this one was not beautifully designed. You can tell that this person was a complete and utter beginner. Nothing wrong with that. However, a lot of people make the mistake, and I did this at the beginning of my journey as well. We make the mistake of making our brand colors not only our favorite colors, but we use them in ways that are not good for the eye, I'll say. Not good not good design. So like I love the color purple. Most people know that. I love the color purple. I love deep burgundies, deep purples, blacks, that sort of thing. So I wanted a lot of my website, my boutique's website at the time. I wanted a lot of purple. And then the more I looked at it, the more I realized that it looked supremely amateur. I needed white background and maybe purple text. That's fine. But having purple everywhere just didn't look right. So I had to, I had to change it. I had to be honest with myself. So this particular website uses a colored background. Again, nothing wrong with that. However, the way that the colors are all used together along with the product photos, it looked very amateurish. And when your website looks very amateurish, you lose trust. And so when someone who's totally brand new to you gets on your page and does not trust you, they're not going to give you their money. Also, when you don't have good product photos with digital products, especially, well, in general, it doesn't even matter, because we're going to talk more about that in a moment. Again, you lose trust. And again, people are not going to give you money if they don't trust you. When you have digital product photos, yeah, it's great to have the ones that, look like they're sitting on a desk or just the cover. I have that as well. But you need to figure out a way to stand out, make your product photos stand out. And that's why if you go to my website now, you will see how different my photos now look for all of my trainings and master classes or whatever else you want to call them. So, um, what was I talking about? This is why I need notes. But yeah, okay, so back to the site. So that was the first thing. Second thing, the homepage was extremely empty. I mean empty. Nothing was there except for I'm about to go to it. Because hold on. Dang, I can't remember. Oh yes, I remember it. Hold on. I'm gonna go to it right now. All right, so the website has hold on, sorry, my thing is loading. All right. So hold on. This is it, but this is not the actual. Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. So you have up here, there's the menu. There's the name and the one liner. However, the one liner is very basic. And again, I did this same thing when I started my boutique. When I started my boutique, it was Jinx Fashionique, where fashion and I can't remember. Where fashion and something, I can't remember the other word, where fashion and something collide. A lot of people normally do that when they first start. It's always where something something collide or where something something comes together. Like that's so basic, y'all, and it sounds so amateur, and it really just sounds like You just didn't know what the hell else to say. That's what it sounds like, to be honest. And I think I had that slogan for maybe it was a few months, and I was like, you know what, this sounds dumb. So I changed it. I changed it like 3 times until I landed on what I landed on. Um, I want to say it was fashion and confidence meet. That was first. That's what it was. And then I had changed it to something fashion and something collide. And I was like, no. And then I landed on whatever it is my last one was. I can't even remember now, which is kind of sad. I have to look at one of my branded poly mailers to remember. But yeah, so that's what's up here first. And yeah, I would just suggest to that person, change this. Then we have huge logo, which is highly unnecessary, but it's because there's a button so you can go into the website, and some websites do that. So that's cool. But then after that, they go into like an about the site, which is great because you want people to know about your business. However, the design is what makes this website look so elementary. It looks like it was thrown together. And I know it's because they're using their favorite colors or their brand colors in a way that is not good for the eye. They're also using a font. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know if you don't know. When it comes to branding, your font really matters. Some fonts read childish. Some fonts read authority. Some fonts read feminine. Some fonts read masculine. Some fonts read screaming. You know what I'm saying? You all get what I'm saying. Because if you look at certain fonts, you immediately think certain things. So that's how this is as well with this about part. The font that's being used is just not, it's not it. Now, being that you enter the site and you go straight to this about part, there's nothing else on the home page. I don't even know. It goes straight to the about us. What if you don't want that? You need your site to go straight to a home page. You can have a short excerpt of the about us or our story or whatever, and then have a button where they can click and go read further. But I wouldn't go straight to the about us page and do nothing else, because then they're thinking that they have nothing else to go to. Because in the menu doesn't describe like the page. Like if I could tell you all what I was looking at, you would understand what I mean. And again, if you are someone and you think I'm talking about you and you want me to actually give you the feedback and let me, we have a thing where we can talk, just email me, ikenishaJ@gmail.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, comment. I'll get to you. Or you can go on Instagram and DM me there, royal_Aries325. I will gladly talk to you for, like, we can chat for about 10 minutes, but I'm not going to do a whole big audit and things of that nature because that costs money. All right. So, yeah. So in the menu, your menu, we need to know exactly what it is that we're clicking on. Don't just name stuff because you think it sounds cute, but it doesn't describe what the products or the collections are. You know what I mean? So there's no flow to this website. You don't know what to click on. And then there's one part in their menu where it's just like a discounted version. It's not a sale. It's like you're in a store and they have like Dollar General, they have like 5 off of 25 or something every Saturday. So that's what this part is. It's like something that they only do on a particular day. And really, I would suggest taking that off. You do not want your customers to get used to discounts and cheap. And to me, this cheapens a site that already does not look professional. Okay? Excuse me. So yeah, I would definitely take that off. The next site that I went to, the About Us page was horrible. Um, and it's the same with the site that I'm on now that I was just talking about. So we're going to segue into the About Us page. If you read my email, you will already know what I said about the About Us page. About Us page, I've noticed, okay, so let me say this too. If you're unaware, back in 2018 is when I started helping online boutique owners, start and grow, whatever. I ventured into other businesses, helping them. And from 2019 to like 2021, one of the main income drivers of mine was website audits and social media audits. I was doing like almost like 100 a month at times. And so I have seen a ton of websites, a ton of Instagram pages, a ton of Facebook pages. And one thing that I have noticed that a lot of people just kind of throw to the wayside, throw it to the curb and don't really pay attention to it, think it's not that important, is the About Us page or the Our Story page or whatever you want to name it. I am telling y'all, that is the most slept on, the biggest missed opportunity. A lot of you all are treating that page like it's just a formality, like, oh my God, I'm supposed to do it, here it is. And it's really the most important page on your site. So, like, you can't have just a basic About Us page. You can't just say, hi, my name is Aikanisha. I'm the owner of this, this, and this. And I started my boutique because I love fashion and all things fashion. I love to shop. I always look good. I get compliments. And I wanted to offer affordable fashion forward pieces. Okay, and who gives a fuck? Like, so what? That does not tell me anything. It doesn't make me feel nothing. It doesn't make me want to be not only a repeat customer, but it doesn't make me want to be a customer at all. Why am I buying from you? Your About Us page should tell me your story. It should tell me your why. It should let me know that this is your reason for living other than like your kids, obviously. Like, I need to feel your passion. I need to know why you think this is something that will sustain you and no other job for the rest of your life. I need to know about this. Not just some basic shit. And that's what I've read on these two pages. Not pages, websites. Like, y'all have to do better with these About Us page. Okay? Because that's what mine did. Mine, I wrote it as if I was telling my story to someone. And if you've been following me for a while, you already know. Anytime someone heard my story, I would gain quite a bit of customers after they heard me tell my story. Whether it was in person, whether it was in a video, Facebook group, YouTube, whatever, I would get customers. And you all know, I've said it over and over again, that one of my main people that I talk about was a customer named Sylvia who saw me tell my story in a Facebook group. She bought from me that day, put in the notes of her purchase that she saw me tell my story. She wanted to support me. And she became a loyal customer who spent thousands with me those whole 7 years that I was open. But she talked with me for the 6 years because she started with me then the year after. And she would refer people to me. And anytime I got customers from a certain part of Missouri, I knew it was because of her. Like, I would also make sure that she knew that I appreciated her and appreciated her loyalty. And it all came because of my story. You have to tell your story. Okay? Y'all have no excuses nowadays. AI exists. You have no excuses to not be able to tell a great About Us story or our story or whatever you want to name the page. You have no excuses. So if you're someone who says, I can't write, you have ChatGPT, you have Gemini, you have Perplexity, you have Claude, you have all of these. Shoot, Shopify now has AI on its product page where you can rewrite what you wrote. So again, y'all have no excuses. You're just not using something to its potential because you don't even know that there's an opportunity there. All right, so next tip, we're going back into the product photos now. So I went to a couple different Instagram pages and y'all, well, it was Instagram and Facebook. Y'all, again, we are in the age of AI. You are on the email list if you are of the AI business queen. You go to my Instagram page. You have access to me. I've given you all tons of resources, trainings, and everything that some of y'all are not taking advantage of. You are in the age of AI. Having horrible product photos is a choice now because you have the resources. It's a choice. You're choosing to have these blurry, ugly product photos. And if you sell clothes, especially, because one of the social media pages I went to sold clothing, you have zero excuses. I have a part in my AI marketing lab where I show you how to put your clothing on an AI model. You can create an AI model, use her all the time as if it's your model, and change her freaking clothes. If you don't want to spend the money to get in the lab, cool, I totally understand. You can do one of two things. You can get on a payment plan, Or you can just do my AI for Business Bootcamp, and I teach you that there as well, and it is cheaper. If you are in the lab, the bootcamp is already in there. Okay? So again, product photos, regardless of what you sell, your product photos are the only way people are going to decide if they trust you, if that product is for them. Not only the descriptions, but the photos. How are they going to know what they're buying? If you're too close, if it's blurry, if the angle looks horrible, if it's wrinkled. Come on, y'all. Y'all have to do better. And if you feel like you're not a creative person and you can't think outside the box, use ChatGPT. Just talk to it. Tell it what you need. And then tell it to ask you questions back so it can pull information out of you. That's all y'all have to do. Truly. I offer stuff on my site from $11 up to $5.97. Figure out what you need, grab a resource, and get to work. Because the things I saw today, I was like, I cannot believe that in 2026, even though it's only a week into 2026, so from 2025, that there are still websites out here that just look so bad, that there's still social media pages that look so bad, that there are pictures that are still blurry, that are still showing bad angles, or not showcasing the product as a whole at all. Come on. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Like it just grinds my gears. And then I went to 4 websites right after that. 4. Okay. Again, 4, my favorite number. That did not load. They all said unavailable or error. So, how are you all selling without a website? You cannot just depend on social media. You cannot just depend on like your little Stripe thing or Square thing or whatever, the swipe cards, and then that's it. No, you need to have a website. Your business needs to have a home. That is what your website is. Your website is a home for your business. Your photos are your mannequins. Okay? They're what pull people in. They're what makes people want to buy. How you dress your mannequin, which are your product photos. Some of y'all are doing a terrible job, and then you're wondering why you're not making money. You're not making money because you're putting in like $2 effort and you're wanting $1,000,000 results. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for anybody. You cannot expect $1,000,000 results from a $2 effort and a pile of excuses. Because I already know if I talk to whomever thinks or knows that I'm talking about their website or social media, they're gonna give me a bunch of excuses. And again, there are no excuses in the AI age. None. The people in my world do not make excuses. They make adjustments, they welcome the criticism, and they adjust and they grow. So if you are someone who's in my world, you should be doing that. I welcome whatever criticism you give me. But if I feel like you're not like my customer that I'm geared towards or that I'm wanting to speak to, and you've never bought from me, sorry, Charlie. So, yeah, I want you all, excuse me, to really take a unbiased approach to your own work, because it's hard for us to step back and really criticize our own work. But you have to have that mindset. And I've always had it where I can criticize myself. If you are someone who can't do that, you have some other choices. You need to have a business bestie who will tell you exactly what it is that you need to hear. And they're not going to sugarcoat anything. I had that. Just so happened that my business bestie when I had my boutique was my actual best friend because she had a business as well. And hers was even more successful than mine. Like she was working with celebs, governors, everything. Her work was on Love and Hip Hop. Her work was on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Her work was, I'm telling y'all, she was the real deal. Okay. So she would tell me things, and she was the reason why I changed my logo, because she told me like, friend, it don't look right. It does not look like a boutique. It looks like a nail salon. So you need to have someone in your life who would do that. Again, because of the AI age we are in, you can use ChatGPT, there's a feature in there that I teach in my AI for Business Bootcamp. And I'm also going to be teaching it in my new intensive that we're going to be talking about in a minute, that will actually audit your website and it will audit your social media pages. There's also prompts you could do where you could do that in the regular chat as well. But again, I've been working on this since before all of this occurred. It's something because it's been on my site. It just hasn't been released yet. It's called the Authority Content Collection. It started off as just like literally a content collection, but it has evolved into a collection of trainings and templates. So I'm going to show you a lot of things. So in the Authority Content Collection that I have just created, you are going to get trainings that show you, one, like we just talked about, how to use AI to audit well, we're not doing AI. It's ChatGPT. Y'all know I just love ChatGPT. So you're going to learn how to use ChatGPT to audit your website or audit your own content. You're going to learn how to identify exactly what's turning buyers off. You're going to what else? Using AI the right way to improve your messaging, your visuals, how to create content, how to create an AI model, and then put the clothes on. I'm going to show you that, quick tips like that. How to create content that looks intentional, that looks elevated, that gains trust. I'm going to give you some luxury DFY or done for you templates that I'm going to create. I'm almost done with that. That's going to be in there for you all to use. So you can just edit it in Canva and then use it for yourself. You're also going to understand why people scroll past your stuff and they're not clicking, they're not buying. It's going to be a lot in here. Okay. This class, or not classes, is a lot of intensive, a lot of trainings. It is basically for anyone who sells product based, digital products, service providers, coaches, whatever it is. This is for you. Okay. So if you are tired of guessing, if you know your business it should be further along and you don't know why, if you're done with the excuses and blaming tools and blaming visibility and saying the algorithm hates you and all the other shit, you need this. I have it on a pre-sale right now. It is on a pre-sale, and then once I launch it, like the day of launch, it's going to go to this regular price. So I suggest you go to the link. If you're watching this on YouTube, it will be in the description as well as the comments. If you're listening to this on Spotify, it'll be in the show notes. Same with iHeartRadio. I suggest going on, grabbing it for the pre-sale price, because then you will have no excuse in saying anything about price objection. And then once it launches, you will then receive all of the trainings, the templates, worksheets. If I decide to create worksheets to go along with my intensive, the trainings that's going to be in it. So yeah, this turned into something more when I started seeing that people needed more than just templates and things of that nature. You need the actual why. You need to learn how to improve your own stuff. So that way you don't need a person like me having to tell you things all the time. You know how to improve and think like a strategist on your own. Okay. All right. So again, it's called the Authority Content Collection. It is on a pre-sale price. Head to the site, grab that, and I promise you, you will be extremely happy. Okay. So that was my emergency episode. That was my spiel. I hope you all enjoyed my comeback. I'm not gonna make no promises about what the next episode is gonna be because I do not know. But because, like I said, I did not plan on doing this episode. It was just an emergency episode, and I just felt like y'all need to hear everything I needed to say and what I saw today because I was astounded. Okay, my flabbers were gasted. I could just not believe what I was seeing. That people who follow me had this type of issue. Okay, so let's get it together. I'm here to help you. I want you to win. All right, it's all like I said. This is all said in love and respect. Okay. Please don't take it personal. Business is not personal. All right, so catch me maybe next week. Catch me whenever I come back, okay? Because I'm not going to leave no crumbs. Bye.